I'm Alex, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
I'm new Rodney, but I also go by Alex. But I'm the call center coordinator.
I'm Lila, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
I'm the last Alex, and I'm a recruitment coordinator.
So basically, just call everybody Alex.
Yeah.
One of them's my answer.
Yeah. I'm Marlita, and I'm also a recruitment coordinator.
I'm Haley. I'm a recruitment coordinator.
Victoria, a recruitment coordinator.
I am Emily. I'm the special events coordinator.
Awesome. Oh, I guess we should introduce ourselves.
I'm Margie Phillips. Oh gosh, I'm the co-director for recruitment. That's my new position. But I'm also the energy management coordinator for the program, and then an instructor with the College of Business.
My name's Lacey, and I'm the director of student services for the College of Business.
So really, you can just tell us about programs and new things going on, and
Anything you want potential students to know, anything like that.
Alright, I guess I can start and just give you a little brief view of what's in here. This is informational. This is not something that, a prospective student would probably be that interested in, potentially. But for you guys to have, I thought it would be helpful because it does outline all of our programs. So all 10 of our programs, undergrad programs, are listed on page, where are they, 6 and 7. So that lists all 10 of our undergraduate programs. So we have everything from accounting, economics, finance, to energy management, which is Margie's specialty, entrepreneurship, which is our newest program, healthcare management, which is a full major now. It used to just be a concentration under management, but it is actually a full major now. International business, and then management, marketing, and management information systems. So we have the full gambit of majors. Some are on the more quantitative side, some are still involved with the quantitative classes, but less of them. And then back on, if a student would ever have questions about what type of classes these entail, we do have 4-year plans in this book, starting on page 31. All of the 4-year plans for our programs are there, and that includes the core curriculum, that includes all of the core business, and then their major classes. So it's a nice outline of what classes are required for these majors. And then just lots of good information about the College of Business in here. A lot of policy information that's probably not really relevant. But something else that is, I think, a good thing for recruiters to know would be about the 3+2 program, and that's outlined a little bit on page 19. So the 3+2 program, I don't personally like the name because I think it's a little deceptive. They actually still graduate undergrad in 4 years, so it's more like 4+1, but there was a problem with using that name or something. So basically, it allows them to overlap some of their graduate work with undergrad, so they can do a whole semester of grad school while they're still finishing their bachelor's. And with most of our programs now, we're able to offer the classes in a way that they can pretty much finish their graduate degree in another year. So they can do, bachelor's and graduate degree in 5 years. That's I think a big selling point though, because that's something that, will save them money, will save them time, and allow them to get that advanced degree.
is that for any of the master's programs or only specific ones?
It is for any of the business programs.
Okay.
So MBA, accounting, healthcare, and HR. And under the MBA, we do have concentrations now. They're not listed in here, but they can do a concentration in finance, marketing, HR, healthcare. So there are concentrations under the MBA. And the MBA has an online option now, so you can do the MBA fully online. So I think that's a good selling point for our programs, because a student that knows that they want to go to grad school, have that option and basically save a year for them, because if they can do the summer classes, they get finished in an additional year. It's also really attractive to students who want to do accounting, because you have to have 150 hours to sit for the CPA exam. So that's a way that they can get those additional hours and be putting them towards another degree. So it's very beneficial, a very beneficial program for students. I think that gives probably, do you guys have any questions for us about the programs or what the programs are? I can maybe, if you're not super familiar with business, I could maybe explain a little more about the different programs, if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. So accounting, And page 6 and 7 just gives a very short list of potential careers. Accounting is basically recording the past, so financial transactions that have already happened. Where's the money at? What assets do you have? What liabilities do you have? But it's more of a current picture and then backwards. Finance, on the flip side, is current and forward looking. So it's looking at future, how much am I going to pay on my mortgage if I have this interest rate over 30 years? So looking more forward. Investments and financial planning, that type of stuff would all fall under finance. Back to accounting. Accounting is one of the top recruited majors for the FBI because accountants have the ability to find fraud very easily. So the FBI hires a lot of accounting students for things like detecting fraud and positions like that. So I think that's a cool selling point that most students probably wouldn't realize, that you can do accounting and then go to the FBI. And actually, one of our professors has worked for the FBI. I don't know if she's still, Susan Lana? I don't know if she still does, but she has worked with the FBI in the past.
Are they allowed to tell you if they are?
Yeah, I think a lot of these, I don't think they're secret.
They can tell them.
I don't think they can tell what they do, but so she actually does some classes on forensic accounting, which is that trying to detect fraud and where money's going and things like that. So that's really cool, I think, for the accounting program. It's something that students wouldn't think of. Most students would think accounting is doing taxes, and that's definitely not it. Part of it, but not all of it. Economics is a popular major for students that want to go to law school. That's usually where we will kind of steer them in the College of Business for law school, although they could do any of these majors and go to law school. Economics is also a good major if a student wants to work in government. I'll be honest, economics was not my strong point, so not as familiar. As I say, he'd probably be able to tell you more about econ. Energy management, you want to talk about that since that's your...
Sure. That's an interesting one in that it actually helps companies save money. So most companies don't realize that one of their major assets is their utilities and the mechanical equipment that operates their building. So this is what energy management's about. I did it for almost 20 years here at Marshall. So to be able to show the students how that makes a difference for a company. And my students actually won first place in the business economics research competition that was held at the end of the semester last year. So yes, they actually did a study with ServiceWire, which showed they went in and they worked with AEP to show how they could save money for that company with new lighting, and did real well. So we're real proud of them. So it's really interesting. It's not the regular business class, but it brings a lot of business aspects into it.
Entrepreneurship is next on the list, and that is another major that I think people have the wrong idea about. It definitely does talk about how to start your own business, the different forms of businesses and things like that. But also our entrepreneurship major focuses a lot on creativity and innovation, and those processes of going through ideas quickly and, to get to a better solution. So entrepreneurship, actually one of the classes is called creativity and innovation. So it's not just about starting your own business. It can be beneficial for students that don't necessarily want to own their own business, but want to learn about that creativity and innovation and how to make those processes better within, an existing company even. Like I said, finance is more forward-looking. This would also be the area if a student wants to work in insurance or risk management. We would steer them towards finance. And of course, financial planning, mortgage lenders, anything like that would be under finance. Banking. Banking could also go under econ, though, depending on exactly what they want to do with banking. And those finance and econ and accounting and finance are very easy to double major. They overlap a lot. So I would say probably 75% of students who major in finance or econ are double majoring with something else. So that's a good selling point for those. Moving over to the more management side, healthcare management is preparing students to work in the healthcare field on the business side of it. So not necessarily interacting with patients on a daily basis, but every hospital and physician's office and they still have HR, they still have accounting, they still have finance functions. So working with those functions of the healthcare system. It's a popular major for this region, and I think it is probably our fastest growing program currently. And then there is the grad school option for students who want to go further in that. International business is kind of combines econ and finance. It's primarily econ finance based, but also does pull in some international marketing. You could potentially do the international management course. So it's kind of taking all of the stuff we talk about in business and putting an international spin on it. So that also is a unique program that it's our only program that requires either a study abroad or an international internship as part of the program. And it's also our only program that requires a foreign language in the College of Business. The only other program that requires some type of experience-based course, I guess, would be healthcare, and they require a practicum where the student actually works in a healthcare facility, basically an internship. But they call it a practicum. So international business is really great, if a student wants to learn a foreign language and study abroad and still get all of that business knowledge as well. Management is dealing with people inside of the organization. So that's where HR would fall. We have a lot of students who want to come and learn about HR. That would definitely fall under management. Executive type functions within an organization would fall under management. So yeah, I always say management is dealing with people inside of the organization. And then marketing is where you're looking at the people outside of the organization. So communicating. Sometimes we have students who want to do PR and they'll even double major with PR and marketing. But marketing is figuring out what consumers want and how to translate that into products or services. We do that. Sales would also fall under marketing. Strategy also falls under marketing. So developing those strategies to get your products and services out known to the consumers, and also researching what consumers want, but also how to best target consumers with your marketing messages. So that would all fall under marketing. So marketing is outside the organization, management is inside of the organization. And then management information systems is our kind of computer technology-based major. It is best described as being the link between managers and IT. So it's not completely IT, it's not completely management, it's that kind of link in between. So they get a little bit of IT knowledge so that they understand, that side, but then also they get the business side of it so that they can best help the company or the organization best utilize their technology resources. So they're kind of that link between the two. It's very brief. And we have minors for all of these except energy management and international business and healthcare.
Not working on them minor for energy management. Hopefully it'll come up soon.
Yeah. And we also, we have an additional minor that's not a major in risk management, which is popular for finance students. So we're trying to build that minor back up. Currently hasn't been popular, but we're trying to build that back up. Is there any questions for these majors?
I do have one question. I know that I think it was hospitality that used to be under you all. That's still honestly a popular major that I hear a good bit. If we had to steer them in one direction that would fit that.
Yeah, and I think hospitality is definitely something that the dean wants to get more into. It's just a matter of resources at the moment. So we don't have anything specific for that, but students that want to do that, we typically steer them towards management or marketing. Now, definitely they could go towards the more financial side of it and do like finance or accounting, but typically students that want to work in hospitality are going to probably be wanting to work with people, and so if they want to look at more of the sales side of it or the promotion side of it, we would steer them towards marketing. If they want to look at more of like, managing a hotel or something like that, we would steer them more towards management. So typically management marketing are the direction we go for hospitality.
Do y'all do any kind, I remember in my psych class, I think it was IO psych, they were talking about like advertising things and like seeing like how like different businesses run. Like you would go in and you would test like the like workers like at a business and then go back and like evaluate and then come back and see like this is like where you're like your weakest point, how like you could do better. And it was like evaluating like their like managers. I know a lot of people in psych, they get caught up because there's just like so many options and like varieties, and then all of a sudden you're graduating and you need 2 foreign languages like you didn't even consider.
Right.
So could they do something like that in this major? Or is that more just like strictly like psych? Like,
So IO Psych is actually there's a lot of business professors that did research in IO Psych. That would fall under, again, management or marketing, and it depends on which side of it you're looking at. Management utilizes psychology. We actually have a class called organizational behavior, and that is very psychology based because it's about like what motivates employees. What pay is actually not the best motivator for employees. So what is a good motivator for employees? Recognizing what motivates some employees, like maybe this particular employee, recognition motivates them. So organizational behavior is a big part of how business would bring in like the psychology side of things, and that's again dealing with people inside of the organization and how to best manage them by understanding the psychology of how people interact and things like that. Marketing has a psychology aspect in it with consumer behavior. So understanding consumers' buying patterns, why they might be geared or drawn more towards this versus this, and the psychology behind it. So that consumer behavior brings in a lot of psychology for the marketing side of it, and understanding why people act the way they do when they're making purchases and utilizing services and stuff. So definitely space for psychology in here. And like I said, we actually have some business professors who work a lot with IO psychology type topics.
Yeah. So people are like struggling with like some of like the other psych classes, but like they were really, really interested in that. I could I'm not going to be working with people who are already in school, but like I could like point them towards this, because I know like a lot of people I know, they're like, I'm majoring in business. I'm like, I think there's like other like things you have to major in. A lot of people just like don't know
we have
what they would want to do.
We have a lot of management students. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but we do have management or marketing students who minor in psychology. And then for a psychology student who is really interested in that IO aspect, management or marketing could be a really good minor for them.
Okay.
So there's definitely a way you can combine that for the student if they have interests in both areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you? Good. So yeah, there definitely is a psychology aspect, and actually all of our students have to take Psych 201.
Yeah.
It's required for every business student because of that, how it pulls into management and marketing.
Do you guys still have, I don't know if it's like a partnership. I remember we met with the School of Art and Design a lot, like last year, and they were talking about how photography students can kind of like almost double major with like entrepreneurship and business.
That is something that I think they're still kind of
Or
working
did
out
they
the
get
kinks.
rid of it, or?
Well, no, there is definitely some discussion with arts and media, especially with entrepreneurship. I think they're still working the kinks out in that. But we were trying to change up, especially the entrepreneurship minor, to make it work better for a student in arts and media.
Yeah.
So that is definitely something being discussed.
Okay.
I don't think it's quite to the stage where we're ready to advertise it.
Yeah.
But it definitely is
In the works.
gotcha. and a potential opportunity for students. Something else that's coming down the pipeline that hopefully will be ready for maybe students to even start doing in the spring, but of course won't be published in the catalog till next year. Marketing is going to start doing tracks within marketing. It has to go through the approvals during the fall semester. It didn't quite make the meeting for spring. But we'll have a track in sales. We'll have a track in, oh gosh, my mind just went blank. I think they're trying to do one in supply chain and logistics. Oh, there's another one, and I can't remember what it is, honestly. But they're making the marketing. There will still be general marketing as well, but they're giving some opportunities for students to do a little more specialization within marketing. I know sales, it might have been online, like internet marketing, social media marketing. Social media would also probably primarily fall under marketing. If you have a student who wants to work in social media, that, you know, a lot of companies are hiring people just to solely do social media now. So that would fall under marketing as well. But that's coming down the pipeline, more specialized areas of marketing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I believe you guys, the College of Business is kind of still in conjunction with the Department of English with classes like Writing for the Workplace. Yeah. I used to teach for like 1 year whenever I was in school for English, but I had a lot of students that were business majors that I was teaching, but they talked about maybe wanting to go pursue something like professional or technical writing, but that's an advanced degree and they don't offer that here. They offer it at WVU, but a lot of them are wondering, is there a major specifically in business that they can sort of prep for and then maybe go to pursue professional technical writing?
That's actually a good question, and I don't have an answer for that. I would say probably my gut would say management, only because a lot of the things would be like reports for managers. But also, I guess depending on what type of reports, you could maybe like accounting, finance too. That's a good question. I'm honestly not too sure about that. That's something I should look into. All of our students do take the Writing for the Workplace course, but yeah, if they want to go towards an advanced degree for that, I'm honestly not sure. That's a good question. That's something I'll have to look into. We do have students that will minor in English because they want more of that writing, that solid writing foundation. And a lot of students who want to go to law school do that. You know, they might major in something in business, but they'll minor in English to prepare them a little better. But I'll have to look into that and get back to you on that.
Okay.
I know you said some of the majors offer like practicums, internship-wise requirements, but when it comes to like students wanting just internships, do they just like come to your office and you can help them with that, or is it like the student responsibility to find the internship, or because I know you guys do that?
Yeah. Yes. So we actually we do, even though only 2 of our majors require some sort of experiential learning like that, we do encourage all of our students to do internships, and some of the majors will allow internships for major required electives. There's more information in here too. But they can definitely do internships for credit or just on their own, not for credit. And we do encourage that. I wish Glenn was here because he'd be able to speak a little more about that. But Glenn works with a lot of companies to try to create more internships for business students, and that's something we're continuing to work on. So typically when a student is looking for an internship, I will refer them to Glenn, who's our Director of Stakeholder Engagement. And if you ever have any questions, his contact info is on page 5. Because he's kind of the expert in that. And then we just help them with the credit side of it, like getting registered for it and everything like that. But actually finding the internship, Glenn can assist with that. They can obviously go work on their own and find something. Or, of course, Career Services is a great resource for that. But we do encourage all of our students to do internships because that puts them a step ahead of all these other business majors graduating from various schools that are competing for the same jobs. So, and it's a good way to test out stuff, see if you like it. We've had students do internships and come back and say, I don't want to do that. We're like, okay, let's figure out what you do want to do. So, yes, we definitely encourage students to do that, and we do have resources within the College of Business and within the university to help them find internships. And also just developing relationships with faculty, because places will contact faculty and say, hey, we have this internship open, do you know any students who might be a good fit? So just developing those relationships with the faculty in their major can really help with internships.
Yeah, I know that like I minored in management, but I like that like my graduate professors too, like all work in the field that they teach. Mm-hmm. So it's nice because you have that real world experience, and like it's like, oh well, you know, a couple years ago this and this, and just that example really helps you kind of like view really like what you're getting into.
Exactly.
So I like that CUB professors do that, or like that.
Yeah, and all of the programs have those professors that worked in the field, specialize in that area, do research in that area. Our accreditation does require professors to do research. Well, there's a couple different ways you can be qualified to teach business courses. Some of them are professional experience, but there's also a research component to that. So our professors do stay up to date on what's happening in their fields.
Does anybody else have any questions for her?
Oh, one thing about that research is usually we include students for the research projects, so they actually get hands-on experience on how to research. So that helps a lot.
It's good for them going into the workplace, but also good if they do want to go to grad school to have that experience.
It's wonderful on a resume.
That 3+2 program, they don't have to take the GMAT or the GRE either, right?
No, none of our programs require the test GMAT anymore.
Okay.
Actually, did they take that out of accounting? Accounting was the last one that was kind of holding on to it, but I don't think they even removed it from it.
Is that if they have like a certain GPA or just like across the board?
So across the board, we don't require the GMAT anymore. Like I said, except maybe accounting. It gets a little tricky. If they have a 3.0, they don't have to do it.
Yeah, that's what I.
If they have less than a 3.0, they can take the GMAT to kind of improve their portfolio to get accepted. But also letters of recommendation and things like that are taken into consideration when it comes to getting admitted to grad school. Now, to do the 3+2 program, they do have to have the 3.0. There is no way around that for the 3+2 program. But to get admitted to grad school, they do have that option to build their portfolio for their admission based, letters of reference, GMAT score, or something like that.
Okay.
But if they have a 3.0, they don't get any of it. Gotcha. Yeah. That's a good question. And I think the 3+2 is a good selling point for our
always tell
program.
people about it.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like anyone that wants to go into business administration, they already want their MBA regardless. So.
And that actually brings up a good point. If you have a lot of students say, I want to major in business administration, that's not really a particular major we have. They usually meet management.
Yeah.
That's what we typically steer them towards if that's what they say. Because that, at most schools, translates to our management program.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Really
no
appreciate
problem.
your
I
time.
hope I gave you some good information.
Absolutely.
This is learning for me too.
If you do have questions, feel free to let me know. My contact